Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be breaking down opportunities versus distractions. How can we learn between the two? We're going to guide and use my framework between buying some real estate. This is a cute little house. I'm not a good drawer, but between buying some real estate versus distracting myself from coaching, from growing the coaching company and trying to take this to the moon. How do we know whether we're just being pulled into shiny object syndrome into the next thing? When do we know when to keep plowing forward and to try and reach and achieve our goals, stay in alignment with our goals, understand our goals, our purpose, our passions, all of these things we're going to go over and really just try and make a better understanding when we're being distracted versus when we have a real opportunity in front of us. Enjoy the show, folks. It's going to be a good one. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Taryn Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. So I have been dealing with this back and forth, really, of am I facing a good opportunity? Am I just being distracted? What's the difference? I think this comes up for all of us. So I thought it'd be a really good topic for the morning show. So opportunities versus distractions. I'm going to give a little bit of background to a situation that I am currently in, but please reframe it to whatever situation you're in so you can improve your situation, quality of life, and maximize resources, energy, and happiness, all that good fun stuff, right? Okay. So there is a property that is for sale next to a property. So my family owns this lot, this house, and then the house right next to it, it's for sale. And I think I can get it for a really cheap price, but the property needs quite a bit of work on the inside, drywall work. It needs new siding on the outside, and it even needs some recoating and some wall building in the basement for the foundation. So there's things that needs to be worked on. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. It does have a tenant already in the property, which is really nice. So that helps with when you're doing construction and things like this. It's really nice when a tenant's willing to live within the construction project because you're making money while you're making money on fixing it up and making it better. So, and location of they talk about in real estate, location. And it's so dead on because whether it's in a town, it's in a beautiful city, if I can't get to it, if I don't have the tools, the team, the management to get to this property, it doesn't matter if it's in a nice city, it's still going to be a huge pain in my butt. I'm going to have to overpay to get a lot of help and this and that. So this house is in the neighborhood that I really like to buy houses in. So it's like, oh, okay, that looks good. But I know that it's work. And my girlfriend and I and her family, and bless all the people that help us, because it's really a team deal. I don't even think I could do the real estate thing without the team structure that we have. So maybe that's even something you consider before you get into it. Do I know the connections of people who I can to really make this work? Either way, so the team, the location's good and this and that, but I was sitting down with my coach yesterday and we went through a framework and I asked myself some questions, and I also was doing research online using ChatGPT, reading some articles on what is the difference between opportunities and distraction. Is this house a distraction from my main priority, which is growing my company, my social media company, essentially? So I help people create unlimited social media content for their brand so they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to think about it anymore. I really help them take through what is authentic, what is you, what is like everything about you. And then we turn that into a persona online to help build trust and to get clients and grow your business. And I think sky's the limit with that company. I can do it from the flexibility of my home. I can do it from my laptop. I have really good structures and frameworks behind it. It's really easy on my body. I think it is my priority, and I think it can make a much bigger impact on it. So is the real estate just a distraction from my main priority in coaching? So again, think of this in your own situation. Is a side hustle a distraction from your main career? Or is it something that you want to pivot and you want to change into? Is it something that you want to balance? I don't believe there's a right answer. Could I make way more money if I just sat here in my office all day and just DM people and tried to get clients 24/7 for my coaching company? Probably. But am I willing to do that? Is that the quality of life that I really want? These are good questions to ask. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read through this framework that I typed up this morning. And also this will be through, I'll share the ChatGPT one. This one's really good. I think everyone should really learn how to use this tool because it's super powerful and pretty easy to use once you start getting the framework and the context of it down. Okay. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right. Can everyone read that? Sweet. All right. So I wanted to have, this is the question that I asked ChatGPT, and you'll notice that this is familiar to the description of this video. What is the difference between opportunities and distractions? For example, I have a social media company that I want to grow and become massive, but I have some rental properties as side investments. I saw another house on the market in the neighborhood I am comfortable investing in, but I don't know where to draw the line in real estate and focus my energy, efforts, and resources on my social media company. Please include some insightful questions I can ask to better understand the difference between opportunities and distractions. Lastly, elaborate on the term shiny object syndrome and how that plays a role in this context. Okay. Opportunities and distractions can sometimes be challenging to differentiate, especially when you are managing multiple ventures. Here's a breakdown of key differences and some questions to help you evaluate the situation. So, alignment of goals. Is this in alignment with my goals? And I like how it broke it down into both opportunity and distraction for each piece. So for opportunity, aligns with your long-term goals and business vision. So does buying this house align with my long-term goals and business vision? Or does it take away? A distraction would be something that takes you away from your primary objectives and core business focus. Takes you away from your primary objectives and core business. I would say it does. I would say that property does take me away. So the question is, how does the potential real estate investment align with the goals of my social media company? I would say it really doesn't, unfortunately. Will the investment enhance or detract from the growth and success of my primary venture? Is this helping me get closer to or farther away from my primary goal? Next consideration is, so after alignment with goals, resource allocation. Opportunities for resource allocation allows you to allocate resources effectively to capitalize on growth. Distraction demands resources that could be better utilized elsewhere. So for example, I would need the loan structure. I was talking to a banker yesterday, a lender. Just, you got to have your net worth sheet. You got to have your big boy report card. You got to be able to talk with banks. You got to be able to work with banks, even if you're not buying properties. I think this is a really good skill to have. You got to be able to communicate with the bankers. They hold the money, and that stuff's very powerful. Either way. So I'm going into the bank, I'm talking to them, and they're like, okay, you can do this. We'll pay for your rehab costs. We'll wrap that into your loan. No doubt, you don't have to put a payment on that. But what you do have to do is you have to put 25% down of the original purchase price. And then we'll wrap the whatever rehabs and quotes that you get, we'll wrap that into it. This is getting a little deeper into real estate. And I would actually, If you want more, if you want to learn more about real estate specifically, I'll just connect you with one of my mentors and buddies I buy properties with. He's way smarter than I am in this, but either way. So you figure out what the costs are and the capital are, and then say, okay, I'm going to need this much, 25% down of this purchase price. How much capital is that pulling out of our accounts? How much cash do I need more cash to sit on? Do I need this cash? I think the resource allocation questions it's asking is this: what resources, time, money, and effort will the real estate investment require, knowing that penny for penny before you'd ever pull the trigger? And how might these resources impact the growth of my social media company? So if I take this capital and I put it into my social media company, what would happen? If I take this money and I buy another property with it, what is going to happen? Playing it both ways through so we can really maximize our resources. That's really all we can do, folks, is we can just do the best we can with the resources and experience that we got. All right. Next up is expertise and passion. Okay, expertise and passion. So opportunity leverages your expertise and passion, enhancing your chances of success. A distraction requires a significant investment of time and effort in an area where you lack passion and expertise. So when it comes to foundation issues, also this property has special siding, so you need a special dumpster. It's an older siding that has asbestos and all this other nasty stuff in it. That's going to cost more money. We got to equate that into the equation of our offer into our purchase price, and also know that these are the people, the teams and stuff that we're going to need. So I don't have as much expertise on a lot of these more intensive rehabs, versus I'm gaining a lot more expertise and passion for my coaching company. It's a lot easier on me. It's like, if we buy this property, we're going to have to probably do some floors ourselves. We're probably going to have to replace some stuff on the inside, and then we'll leave the outside and the foundation to the professionals. But still, do I have the passion for that? Do I really want to do that? Because if you want to do that, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a partier really anymore. I hang out at home and freaking read books and work on business and spend time with family. So it's like, is it really that big of a deal if I have a side hustle in real estate? I think we all put our time towards something. I know a lot of my friends still play video games and do that. I don't do any of that. So it's like, could I just use that time to do this, or should I go all in? These again are just thoughts in my head that we want to play through to really understand the difference between when you're getting an opportunity and when you're getting a distraction. Good morning, everyone. Maybe you're grabbing your coffee. We're rolling through just some different criteria, things to think about when we're trying to learn about the difference between opportunities and distractions. Next up is return on investment. We kind of already talked about this. Really penny for penny, just write it all out. What is the best case scenario? What is the worst case scenario? And am I comfortable with the risk, whatever it is in between? And return on investment, I think, goes outside of capital. We talked about time, effort, and energy. Your resources are what's really precious. And I think money and time both fall into this. So is the money worth the time? Is the effort worth the money? These are the things that we want to play through, and we just want to ask ourselves. So return on investment. And am I going to get the return on investment that I really want out of this property? And what are the potential investments I could make in my coaching company, whether it's hiring an assistant, whether it's putting automated systems in, whether it's hiring someone like a graphic designer, a video editor, all of these team players, maybe pulling a new coach onto my team. That is something I really want to do over the next couple of years, is pull coaches onto my team. I feed them clients. They do our framework. We split commissions, that type of stuff. That's what I want to do. But can I get there without the capital? These are things that we need to consider, because people want to be paid if they're going to work for you, it turns out. Okay. Entrepreneurs are the only ones that really withstand not being paid for a long time. Either way. So shiny object syndrome is what we'll kind of wrap up with this in this section. So shiny object syndrome is just a fancy term I wanted to throw out there. Refers to the tendency to be easily distracted by new, attractive opportunities without thoroughly evaluating their impact on existing priorities. So we went over the return on investment. the expertise and passion, the resource allocation, and also just the alignment with our goals. So considering these things are very important. I think that answering those questions first will have us be able to know whether we're falling into shiny object syndrome or not. Shiny object syndrome, easily distracted. So am I considering the questions that this spit out were pretty good? Am I considering the real estate investment because it genuinely aligns with my goals, or is it just an attractive distraction? You'd be blown away. I do this all the time. And I know your ass does it, because I know I do it all the time too. We will distract ourselves from what our primary mission is, just to avoid the pain and friction of doing what we really need to get done. I will read books. I will listen to informative podcasts. I will go on walks. I will do all these healthy things, which give me a balanced life, but I will do all these things. Really what I'm doing is I'm avoiding and distracting myself from doing what really needs to get done to reach my primary goals, my number one goal. Whenever we have a guest on the show, we did the last Monday and Tuesday of this week, we got to learn from our friend from Uckland and also our new friend down in Dallas, Texas. They were just they were listing out their number one goals, and are their actions in alignment with what they really want to do, and myself included, or are we pulling ourselves, doing too much, spreading ourselves too thin? I had a great conversation with my girlfriend yesterday about this, and it's like, yeah, I mean, where do you really want to put your time? Like, where all of these frameworks that we've already gone through. The other question on here that I thought was good: have I thoroughly evaluated the long-term implications and risks of the investment? So one of the cons of real estate in particular is it's slow. Like it's very, very slow. It's illiquid, as you would probably heard in your financial studies and this and that. So I can't get the money unless I have a bank refinancing and cut me a check, or if I sell it on the market, wait so long, depending on the type of offer I receive, whether it's cash or financing. It's still going to take time. It still have to go through title. Illinois is a title state. And it's still going to have to go through lawyers and all this realtors and all this shit before I can get money. So it's very slow. That's one of the cons. And I want to buy a property in Colorado that my brother currently lives in. I would love to buy this property. I want it really bad. But so it's like, do I take this capital and try and grow my capital so I have even more capital to really buy this property? Or do I sit on what I have and make a less juicy offer when my opportunity comes up? But I also don't want to get caught with my pants down and have all of my capital tied up, and then the next really good opportunity that comes up, I miss it. So you can see how this, whether it's the coaching or a property I want in Colorado, or there's a lot of things that can pull our attention. So I'm going to pull up my one-page life plan. So this is the framework. So after you've worked with me through the 7 weeks, and this is really the anchor system that we have all over the 50 exercises that I give people to really create the authentic content, to be super consistent on social media. Like, this is episode 471, and I got ideas to go through 1,000. So this framework works. It's money, but like just using this as like a check-in system as a life plan as well, I think is really beautiful. So ask myself, buying this property, is it in alignment? Is it in alignment or out of alignment with my one-page plan that I've created over these weeks? It takes 7 weeks to create this. I sit down with you one-on-one. Yes, I'm going to drill the crap out of you on your life, what you really want, why you really want it, like what's the real plan to get there. Yes, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm a big believer in human accountability. I think the online courses and stuff are cool and they're sexy, but people don't actually really do the work that's necessary unless like someone's sitting there and really getting after you, either way. So top 5 values. So I look at these values: adventure, learning, presence, love, vitality. And you can think of vitality as health, or my vision. So do something for someone I love, or do something for my business, do something for my health. When I look at my vision, my values, my purpose statement, my relationships, both for business. So find people to interview on the morning show or personal. Send a nice text message to one person a day. My goals: gain 5 pounds of muscle, trying to get jacked here. Wealth: sign up 100 new students for this program that essentially helps people create unlimited social media content, and interview 100 people on my show. Just looking at the goals section really stands out to me, because if my top goals are to interview a lot of people and to get a lot of people to sign up for my coaching, is it really a good idea to take on another fixer-upper? I don't think so. My intuition is telling me no. And I usually like to follow my intuition. I always like to talk to my mentor. I have a business shout out to Blake. He just a total genius in real estate. He's a real badass. Shout out to my life coach and big mentor, Steve, for coaching me up all the time. And really, in particular, I was talking to Steve as well yesterday, and he really believes that, you're probably distracting yourself from what it is that you really want to do. And I mean, if these are my top goals, and if this is like and my mission is to really make a big impact on a lot of people and to live in alignment with these values, the unfortunate answer is I should probably not buy this house, and I should just really focus on my coaching company. I want to backtrack on saying unfortunate, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't regret doing things or not. I think we regret not making informed decisions, not believing in ourselves, not giving ourselves permission to make a decision. Making decisions is the hardest thing to do in 2024. It really is. Making decisions destroys relationships. Making decisions, like just the fatigue of it, is why do you think they have all these bright signs when you're driving home from work for fast food, for this and for that on every corner? Because you're already tired from the day. And when you don't have a decision on what you're going to exactly eat for dinner, you're a prime culprit to come right through the drive-thru. So we know that decisions and putting a lot of energy into them is vital for success and getting to where we really want to go. I just wanted to run through this scenario because it's been driving me a little bit nuts. And I think my decision is that I'm not going to buy this property, and I'm going to keep leaning into my coaching company and save some of this excess capital. I'm selling one of our other properties, and I'm going to save that excess capital for the possibility of buying this house in Colorado towards the end of the year. So that's my decision. I really thought about it. I broke down all the numbers. I talked to professionals, and I think I can have a lot of peace with it, right? So having a lot of peace with it is probably what's more important than anything, because if I don't have peace with my decision, then it's going to be really difficult to just come back and to work on my actual business, which deserves my attention, my resources, and my efforts. So I'm sure that's happened to you when you weren't really sure, you couldn't make a decision, and the hamster wheel of thoughts just kept rolling. And then we burn out all of our energy, so we don't actually take the action that's necessary to focus on our primary goals. But all right, I'm going to kick this plan off the screen. All right, folks, that's all I have for today. I believe it's a massive opportunity in 2024 to know the difference between opportunities and distractions. You got to play the scenarios through your own life. What's going to get you to where you want to go? On ChatGPT, they had some really nice prompts, whether we're just going through the return on investment, where your passions are lying, where your resources are at, and also what are your top goals. So let's make strong, good decisions. And when we make decisions, let's be confident and stick with them so we can give ourselves some peace of mind and enjoy the day. In case you guys need to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Let's have a full, awesome Wednesday. And I will be back bright and early with episode 472 of the Talk to Taryn Morning Show. That's all I have for today, folks. You guys have an awesome day. Cheers to y'all. Let's make some good decisions. I'm out. Peace.